Okay, here's video two. So if the Federal Reserve wants to contract the money supply, what they're going to do is offer bonds at super low prices. They're going to drop the prices of bonds so that this bank with their $800 in excess money is going to choose to hold it in bonds. And since they have less money to loan out, that causes interest rates to go up. Okay, so hopefully that helps us to understand that relationship between bonds, excess reserves, interest rates. Now the opposite could happen. Okay, remember you deposited $1,000. The bank has to hold back 200 of it, and they have $800 that they can loan out. Okay, now the Federal Reserve could also buy bonds. Okay, and if they buy bonds, that means that they're going to buy them because they're going to offer a really good price on bonds, and that's going to cause that's going to cause this bank to sell any bonds that they have, and now they're going to have more money, more excess reserves to loan out, and they want to loan that money out that they have, and for that reason, that's why interest rates are going to be lower. Okay, so the Federal Reserve plays with buying and selling bonds to large financiers and banks. They play with the price of bonds because in reaction to it, that's going to affect interest rates. Okay, again, when a bank gets a deposit, it's a liability, and that money then, some of it has to be held back, and then the rest of it can be loaned out, or it can be held as bonds. And that gets across a little of the relationship between bond prices and interest rates. Okay, real quick, let's look at money creation and money expansion, just to kind of give an idea. And we're certainly not going to go all the way with this, but remember that the money multiplier is 1 over the reserve requirement ratio. Okay, so if somebody deposits $1,000 at the bank, okay, we know that they have, let's say that for this example, I said that they had $750 in excess reserves and $250 in required reserves. Okay, we should be able to look at that and understand that the reserve ratio here is 25%. Okay, so now what we're going to do, instead of excess reserves, we're going to pretend that this bank chooses to make a loan. So it's a $750 loan. Okay, theoretically, what we want to pretend for money creation is that somebody took this money, a deposit of $1,000 happened, somebody took this money and they put it in another bank. Okay, so now you have $750 here, and now this bank has, goodness gracious, I don't know, 25% of 750, but this bank now has required reserves, and they have, I don't know, $500-600 in excess reserves. And if they loan that out, then that money gets put into another bank. Okay, that's essentially how money creation works. But remember, the big thing is that we have to apply that formula of 1 over the reserve requirement ratio. Okay, if this reserve requirement ratio was less than 25%, let's say it was 10%, then $900 would have gone in Bank B, and there would have been more money going into Bank C. It would have gone on for longer. Okay, 1 over the reserve requirement ratio.